Hello everyone, welcome back. This is another very important subjective question and answer from the short story The Sound Machine, written by Roald Dahl. With close reference to the story The Sound Machine, write a brief character sketch of Klausner. The answer. The story The Sound Machine narrates an episode in the life of Klausner, the protagonist, who is obsessed with sounds, so much so that others find him to be eccentric. The opening statement is crucial, and in this opening statement, so many key elements are already highlighted and mentioned. The protagonist, the first key point. Klausner is the protagonist of this story. You need to mention this in the very beginning. And then his obsession with sounds. Who is obsessed with sounds, so much so that others find him to be eccentric, out of his mind, or frenzied. Next, Mrs. Saunders considers him to be a rather peculiar person, perhaps gone completely crazy. Two quotations in order to elaborate on the point. Next, but he is harmless. It is his sense of urgency and suppressed excitement to make a breakthrough in the field of sounds which makes him appear threatening. He tells Dr. Scott authoritatively, "You do as I say," with an axe in his hand. But after all, he is a harmless person. This is the introduction along with the interesting and catchy opening statement. Read the introduction properly and take down your notes and then frame your own answers. This is a character sketch answer. You need to focus on the character traits, the traits of Klausner's personality in your answer. Don't just write down the summary. That will not fetch you marks. You will have to pinpoint the characteristics of Klausner's personality. He is the archetypal scientist of a science fiction. We all know The Sound Machine is a science fiction, and he is the typical scientist figure, the inventor, the absent-minded scientist, the scientist preoccupied with his invention. He is the archetypal scientist of a science fiction, dreamy and distracted. I have quoted from the text, so read the text thoroughly. He is the archetypal scientist of a science fiction, dreamy and distracted, with an immense, immeasurable distance in him. Dr. Scott observes this about Klausner, and I have used this quotation for his character analysis. Working upon his invention, a sound machine in a makeshift laboratory with an unwavering concentration, devoting extensive time to his project, at times afraid of its outcome. He is apprehensive. What will happen if the machine doesn't work? So he is afraid. Again, in this sentence also, I have packed in so many key elements. Read carefully and try to identify the key elements. Next, he is dedicated and so engrossed in his work that Dr. Scott's arrival startles him. You need to highlight his dedication as well. He even forgets to remove his hat, showing his singular focus and absent-mindedness. He is hesitant to divulge the details of his theory and says that it is just an idea, and his theory of sounds is not complicated. Look how I have quoted from the text in order to enhance the quality of the answer. Again, the key elements of his character in this paragraph. He has unwavering concentration. He devotes extensive time. He is afraid of the outcome of his project. He is dedicated, devoted, engrossed, and perhaps at times absent-minded. Initially, he is hesitant to disclose the details of his theory and then just says very casually that it is just an idea and I like sounds. Next, he is a frail, small, nervous and twitchy. He is frail, small, nervous and twitchy. His physical appearance also needs to be mentioned. Yet his ambition makes him restless to discover the infinity and eternity realms of the unknown. His theory of sounds. Learn his theory of sounds. How some sounds are so high-pitched or low-pitched that they are inaudible to human ear. He tries to prove his hypothesis, tests his theory on flowers and the beach, thereby afflicting pain on them, but later is filled with remorse. Ironically, the destruction of the sound machine makes the readers wonder as to what might have happened if his theory did work. Next, though his actions seem absurd, it is based on the idea of empathy and concern for nature. He becomes sensitive to the pain felt by plants and trees, and through his instability, Roald Dahl highlights the theme of appearance versus reality, making the readers wonder if there was indeed an existence of a world beyond human perception or whether everything other than what we see is an illusion and reality. And in this way, Roald Dahl combines science fiction as well as environmental ethics through the character of Klausner. Hence, the character sketch, the character of Klausner, the protagonist, is very, very important. Prepare this answer. There is no word limit, so prepare your answer accordingly in order to manage your time effectively. Thank you for watching this video.